Thank you, Lydia. Now, joining me in the studio to discuss more on this is the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Sylva. Honorable Minister, welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
Let's begin. In a nutshell, we would like you to assess the oil and gas sector since you came on board.
I must say that we've actually recorded some modest achievements since I came in about 5 months ago. We were able to adopt our 2023 roadmap, the roadmap to 2023, which was also the agenda setting for the tenure. And since then, a lot has also happened. We've been able to pass the Deep Offshore Amendment Bill. We are also in the process of rejigging the PIB, and we are hopeful that the PIB will pass this year. We have also been able to superintend over the discovery of oil in the northeast. Evaluation is ongoing, but the oil has been discovered in the northeast. We've also been able to take FID on Train 7, and a couple of things that have happened within this period, and we are very fired on to move on this year.
I'd like us to go to what you mentioned, the Petroleum Industry Bill. You know, it has made several trips to the National Assembly without being passed. What are the plans to facilitate its passage this year so as to boost investor confidence in that sector?
Yeah, unfortunately, passage of that bill has eluded us for a long time. We've been in the process of passing the PIB for the past 20 years or so. But this time I can tell you that this is going to be the last trip it will make to the National Assembly. We are trying to create some kind of consensus among all the stakeholders from National Assembly to industry players to ensure that everybody is on the same page. And this bill will likely pass because we have a renewed relationship between the National Assembly and the executive. And we believe that this year, finally, the PIB will pass.
That's the cheery news. We recall that in your first interaction with energy correspondents this year, you emphasized the need for a shift to what is now known as the future gas. Now, that is that is gas, so to speak. So what are your plans for the gas subsector this year?
Well, the gas sector will definitely grow. You know, Nigeria is described many times as a gas territory with some oil in it. Unfortunately, we've not really taken advantage of our gas resources. All the gas we have found in Nigeria has been found while looking for oil, not looking for gas. This year we're going to have some targeted exploration for gas. And we also want the people of Nigeria to have an alternative to PMS. We want to see how our cars can be converted to using CNG, and also to try to improve the LPG penetration. Unfortunately, Nigeria has one of the lowest LPG penetrations in the world, which is very unfortunate because we are very rich in gas. And this year we're going to really focus on these areas.
Oh, you just got back from the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Any value addition to the sector from your trip?
Definitely. You know, places like Davos need to be visited by Nigeria because, you know, this kind of forum is where the world policies are shaped. Policy directions are decided in this kind of forum. If you are not there, the world will move on without you. And it was very important that we were there because at this moment, the world is really concerned about climate change. And unfortunately, the world is beginning to discuss movement from fossil fuels to renewables. And as a country, you and I agree that we are not in that race to renewables yet. So we have to put it at the world stage that we must look at our gas resources. Because the problem of climate change is not necessarily about renewables. It is about carbon emission. And we have to always draw the attention of the world to the fact that we have to discuss carbon emission. And carbon emission does not necessarily equal renewables. Of course, gas is a lesser source of carbon emission, and we have abundant resources abundant gas resources in Nigeria. So the world has to also take us into account in their discussion in the transition to renewables, and it is always in those kind of forums that we can always put our own point of view forward, and that allowed us in Davos to put our point of view forward, and I think it was taken note of. Apart from that, of course, you know, it's a gathering of the economic leaders of the world, so you are most likely going to run into the major players in the world, and we actually had very fruitful discussions.
All right, Honourable Minister, we followed the proceedings in Davos, and you haven't explained that. I think Nigerians now understand. But your last words on this session regarding reaping maximum benefits by Nigerians from this sector.
Of course, you know, like I said, we want to see how Nigerians begin to utilize CNG, and we also want to see how our refineries begin to work. This year, we're going to focus on that. The first quarter this year, work on Petroleum refinery will commence, and also work on the AKK pipeline, which is also very key to the development of Nigeria, will commence this year, because AKK is going to take gas from the Niger Delta all the way to Kano. That means it's going to create a development corridor. So on that AKK line, we expect that a lot of industries that feed on gas.
Obviously, Honourable Minister, a lot has been expected from your sector, particularly in 2020.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on the news tonight.
Thank you very much.
I'll be speaking